right-wingers. So, a veteran reporter for the New York Post has been placed on leave after writing a damning report on President Donald Trump's pick for DEA administrator. Now, according to a report from Breaker Media, the journalist in question is business reporter Josh Kosman, who's actually a 16-year veteran over at the New York Post. And as you guys can imagine, New York Post is conservative leaning. He's been there for 16 years, and he apparently received a tip within the Drug Enforcement Agency in late February, alleging that Donald Trump's pick to lead the DEA, a guy by the name of Terry Cole, had a checkered past that included leading 2 operations that led to unnecessary deaths. Now, that sounds serious. That seems like an interesting tip. He looked into it. He says it was a pretty amazing scoop, he explained to Breaker. Kosman briefed multiple editors at the Post, including the business, features, and political editors, who all encouraged him to pursue the story. Now, he was able to get 2 sources to even speak to him on the record, in addition to over a dozen DEA top officials, former DEA top officials. But after it was written, Cenk, after it was edited and slated to run on Sunday, March 22nd, all of a sudden, the publishing of this piece was postponed. They didn't do it. And eventually, Kosman received an email from the Post political editor saying, there's no good way to say this, so I'll just say it. Keith Poole spiked the story. I sent him the most recent copy, and his response was, nope, not running this, in a way that made clear there was no changing his mind. I'm very sorry. I thought we had the story, but sometimes decisions are made above my pay grade. Now, Cenk, here at TYT, I think people feel pretty free to say what they actually think, especially in regard to news stories. I think you have a pretty reasonable red line. You don't want people who work for you going around calling you a bitch, for instance. But freedom of opinion is obviously something that's allowed here. But I'm starting to think we might be one of the only places where that's allowed.
Yeah, for sure. So look, let's do general rules, and then we'll talk about us in New York Post a little bit. So first off, everyone has a bias. And so all the media should be honest about their perspective. But mainstream media isn't. They're the most dishonest out of all of the media. And so I want to be clear about who mainstream media is and why I'm calling them the most dishonest. Because I'm not saying that they make up the most amount of lies. Can you find a right-wing show that just makes up nothing but lies? Yeah, of course. Alex Jones is a mess. We're not winning with Alex Jones, right? Let alone 100 other shows, right? But you know which side Alex Jones is coming from. Google land, right? You know which side the right-wing shows are coming from, left-wing shows, etc. Mainstream media does 2 problems. One is me, bias. No, my perspective is objective.